Eddie Hearn just blasted Bob Arum, got on his helmet about how he's been promoting Shakur Stevenson, proved that he was lying about him not wanting to sign Shakur Stevenson, and said he is the man to make Shakur versus Gervonta Davis because that's the only fight that needs to happen. We're going to talk about all this in this video. I'm going to let y'all hear exactly what Eddie had to say out of his own mouth. But before we do all that, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed, and let's cook on this. Man, y'all smash that like button. Now, we got to cook on this situation because I was just listening to Eddie Hearn, and he had a whole lot to say about, Bob Arum and how he's been promoting Shakur Stevenson and the Gervonta Davis fight, right? And I definitely want y'all to hear exactly what he said. So like I said, I'm going to play y'all the audio. Now, recently, we've been seeing Bob pretty much go on a bashing tour when it comes to Shakur. Of course, he's always going to give him his props and let everybody know how great of a fighter he is. But recently, his tune has changed when it comes to Shakur fighting any of these top name fighters. Now, if y'all can remember, a few months back when Shakur, he was basically saying that he was excited to become a free agent. He was gonna, be talking to Top Rank to see what they give him. He was gonna be basically going around weighing out his options. Bob Arum at that point in time was on some, well, if he signs back with us, we're gonna get him the Lomachenko fight, and then we got other fights like Teofimo Lopez if he wants to go to 140. So we got a lot of fights over here on Top Rank that we're going to get Shakur Stevenson. And when I heard that, right, one thing that stood out to me is all of a sudden he was saying that he was going to do what he had to do to get Shakur a Lomachenko fight. And I told Shakur myself, I said, don't believe that. That is just a tactic to get you to re-sign. Once you re-sign, if you don't have Lomachenko already on paper in writing, he ain't gonna get you that fight because he knows you can beat Lomachenko and he'll never let you go anywhere near Lomachenko. We seen this same thing happen with Floyd Mayweather when he was with Top Rank. That's a big reason why Floyd left Top Rank, because Floyd had been wanting to fight all of the top fighters that was in his weight division or around his weight division. People don't understand. Floyd had been calling De La Hoya out, Shane Mosley, all them top fighters out for years, and Bob Arum wouldn't give him those fighters because Bob has always played favorites. If he think that you can beat a fighter that he likes and loves a lot and that brings him a lot of money, he not gonna put you in the ring if he don't fully believe in you bringing in that top revenue. And we know how Bob Arum has always felt about Vasyl Lomachenko. See, with Bob and Lomachenko, it's not about money. He has a close personal relationship with Lomachenko, so it's about his personal love for Lomachenko. And so what Bob was doing when he knew that Shakur Stevenson was coming up to be a free agent, he was dangling Lomachenko fight in front of Shakur Stevenson's face. But he was never willing to go to Lomachenko and entice Lomachenko to take a Shakur Stevenson fight because he knew what he was doing all along. He was just using that as a tactic to get Shakur to re-sign back with Top Rank. They threw an offer out there to Shakur, and Shakur turned down the offer and said, y'all gotta come better than that. Meanwhile, Shakur was still trying to get a Lomachenko fight. Once Shakur saw that they weren't going to give him a Lomachenko fight, and they made it very, very obvious after Lomachenko beat Kambosos, like I told y'all before, they started promoting Lomachenko and Navarrete, and they started promoting Lomachenko and Gervonta Davis, and they left Shakur totally out the picture. At that point, Shakur, he realized what I was saying. He realized exactly what Bob Arum was doing. They was trying to play him to get him to sign a long-term deal, and he was never gonna get the Lomachenko fight at all. And Shakur, he let it be known. Now I know what y'all doing. Y'all don't F with me, and I don't F with y'all. And he pretty much let it be known, by the way that Shakur was talking, his time at Top Rank was over with. Unless they was willing to come through with a big, huge bag, he wasn't gonna mess with him no more. That's pretty much what he let Bob Arum and Top Rank know via social media. And on the other hand, you seen Bob Arum do exactly what he does to every fighter when he realizes that they're not gonna re-sign back with him. When he realizes that they've caught on to his old tactics that he always plays. Look at how Bob Arum played with top name fighters throughout the history. They pretty much all leave him once they figure out what he's doing. Bob Arum is a great businessman, and most great businessmen on the level that he is are great con artists. And once he realized that Shakur caught on to what he was doing, he went on a Shakur Stevenson bashing fest. Started doing interviews talking about how Shakur Stevenson is not a draw, how nobody wants to see Shakur and Gervonta Davis, and how nobody wants to see Shakur versus Lomachenko. And Bob Arum went on to say, I talked to Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn don't even want to sign him because he said he's not going to pay Shakur what I'm going to pay him. So Shakur can go out and do all the searching he wants, but he's going to have to come back to Top Rank. Now, when Bob Arum said that, I said, he's a damn lie, because if Eddie Hearn told him that behind the scenes, I guarantee you Eddie Hearn is telling him that as a negotiation tactic on his behalf. Eddie Hearn gonna do whatever he got to do to sign Shakur Stevenson. And Eddie Hearn will be the one to do everything he has to do to get the fight between Shakur and Gervonta Davis signed, sealed, and delivered. Well, this is what Eddie Hearn had to say about Bob Arum, Shakur Stevenson, and the Gervonta Davis fight. Listen to this. Make sure y'all hit my like button, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to cook on it some more.
If Shakur wants to pledge his future, then you make a significant investment. If it's a 2-3 fight deal, then he's going to be getting a lot of money. And I think Shakur is pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. He may be unbeatable. Maybe. He's that good. But I think he's been promoted terribly. And I think some of that is because when Bob knows a fighter's looking to leave, he's out. Like, this probably happened 2 or 3 fights ago, because Bob would have looked to extend back then. Bob doesn't look to extend now with 1 fight to go, because you've got no leverage to change the purses. So once he knew that Shakur wasn't going to extend, he's made his mind up. He's out. I'm not going to push him. So Shakur should be a massive star, but he's not. For the revenue that he creates for the show, he's on a lot of money, but he hasn't been pushed to make him a commercial success. So I like him. I think he's a great fighter. I think he would be an incredible addition to the Matchroom team. But, for me, the fight to make is Tank against Shakur Stevenson. I believe this is his last fight with Top Rank. I mean, there's been a little bit of flirting on social media. That's about it. I think Shakur Stevenson is pound for pound top 5 already. He may be the best fighter in the world, and I think he's been promoted terribly. I think nobody knows who he is, and a man of that stature and that resume and that ability should be a huge star in America. If we can add Shakur Stevenson to the roster as well, we've got a beautiful thing going in America, and looking forward to a big fight this weekend.
So it don't get no clearer than that. Eddie Hearn made it clear that he gonna go after Shakur Stevenson, and he gonna do whatever he gotta do to get Shakur Stevenson to sign with him over there with DAZN and Matchroom. He already got boots, and what Eddie is doing, he's trying to get them top fighters that's over here in America, that these other promotional companies wasn't putting the effort into promoting them and making them superstars. And he's saying, well, we got the money over here on DAZN, so we gonna turn them into superstars. Like he said, he already got boots. You know what I'm saying? Watch what he gonna do with boots. They got the money to overpay some of these guys to get in the ring with Boots and Shakur that's afraid to get in the ring with them. because money talk at the end of the day. And Bob Arum is not willing to do that. Bob Arum is not willing to come out of his pocket for none of these fighters unless he has a great personal relationship with them, like a Lomachenko. We seen this same thing happen with Bud Crawford. Bud couldn't get none of those guys on PBC because of Bob Arum. Bob Arum wasn't willing to come out of his pocket. He wanted everybody else to put the money up. But like I said, we also seen it with Floyd Mayweather. That's why Floyd bought himself out of his contract. He just really don't believe into going the full length for black fighters. He'll take you to a certain spot, then after that, he ain't coming out of his pocket for you. That's how Bob has always worked. And you heard Eddie tell it like it is. He said, man, we see Bob is basically trying to sabotage Shakur. He doing everything he can to talk down on him once he figured out that Shakur wasn't gonna sign back with Top Rank. And then he started bashing him, trying to lower his stock because he knew that Shakur was becoming a free agent. And that's why he told the world, nobody wants Shakur. He's gonna have to come back and sign with me once he sees that. He's trying to belittle him and keep him from actually going and talking to these people in the open market. That ain't working. People done bought on to you. These fighters know how you work, Bob. And Eddie Hearn, man, he right there. That's why we seen Shakur, he retweeted what Eddie Hearn had to say. Shakur going over there to sign with Matchroom. I'm telling y'all, man. Anyway, y'all let me know how y'all feel. Drop a comment in the comment section. Make sure you hit my like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed. And y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone.
Give me hard in the treetop. I'm making love to the beat like a track got a G-spot. And I'm chewing every MC, yo. Try to run with them, but they can't keep up, bro.